Boxing King Media, powered by the Riyadh season and BYD. I was going to say Fraser Clarke, but Fabio Wardley. I nearly did it. But it's your own fault because I've been trying to catch up with you all week, but we finally pinned you down. I've got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I'm going to hold it.
Hello, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3. No, hello. How you doing? Good. All going well. Yeah, I've been trying to pin me down. Yesterday was my fault. Sorry, I got here a bit late. So trying to cram everything all at once and just you try and keep fight weeks a bit settled and not rush too much and not do too many things and just conserve my energy because I've got a little task to achieve on Saturday night.
You have indeed got a big task, mate. I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, the obvious thing, because a few people have mentioned it today. I spoke to Eddie Hearn, and he mentioned it, the scar on your nose. I think he said in the interview that if that's going to open up at some point, it's going to cause an issue. So you tell me, obviously, I can see there's some scarring there. What have you had time to recover from that, and have you done anything to help you with the injury?
Yeah, look, I've had more than enough time for the injury to recover. Immediately after the fight, I saw a plastic surgeon. I had it internally stitched. I think a lot more was made of it than really what it is. It's just a cut at the end of the day. My nose was never broken. The cartilage was never injured at all. Internally, my nasal passages, me breathing is all perfectly fine. There's no issue there whatsoever. It's purely just a bit of skin that's cut and bleeds a bit. And because I got punched in the face a bit too many times, or I got caught with a jab at least too many times in that fight, that it just kept going and kept going. And when you mix that with sweat and blood, turns it into a horror show and makes it look really bad. But ultimately, it's just a cut, and we're in the boxing game at the end of the day. You're going to get cuts. So if it goes, it goes. All it does is trickle down my nose. It's not the end of the world.
Well, I think you summed it up perfectly there. Before we talk about the actual fight, I was doing some research on you, and I didn't know this. Am I right in saying you were born in America?
No.
Raised in or lived some parts?
It's half and half, slightly mixed. So I was born and raised here in the UK. My biological father is Nigerian, but he moved to America when I was 2 years old and has been there ever since. So when I was young, from the age of about 5, I would actually fly on my own. My mum would take me to the airport, take me as far as she could along the line, take me to like a concierge lady who would then escort me onto the plane. I'd be on the plane on my own, fly over, meet my dad on the other side, and then do that. And I did that for a good 10, 15 years or so. But I used to do that for the whole summer holidays. So I used to spend so much time in New York. I know it like the back of my hand. Like it's my second home. Like I could just walk the street myself. Like I know it. I haven't been there in a long time myself lately. But as a kid, I knew that place the same way I would know my own hometown kind of thing. So yeah, that's where it kind of comes from. But also, it's a funny mix because my mum is American as well, but she lived when she had me, lived in London. Okay. So she is American, has an American passport, but she's lived in the UK for the past 30 plus years, maybe something like that.
That's quite a fascinating insight. I didn't know the full story. So you kind of lived the movie Home Alone. So you was like Kevin in real life.
Yeah, kind of. At least on a plane for a few hours. Yeah. I was.
Do you not have a mind? I never. You could do that. Like you could go on the plane on your own. I thought you always had to have an adult with you.
No. So what it is you have an adult obviously take you all the way as far as they can, and there's you have a dedicated like an air hostess who would then come check you every hour, make sure you're okay, see if you need anything like that at all. But yeah, I was just on my ones, just flying on my ones. So
American accent, where is it?
No, it's not me at all. It never was. Even when I spent a lot of time there as a kid, I never picked up any accents. I'm weird as well because obviously I'm from Ipswich, Suffolk, so I don't have that kind of. I do a bit. I say certain words, but I don't have that proper like Suffolk twang, like yeah, bah, or you're right, bah, or anything like that. Like proper like country. So I've got a bit of a. I don't know, because my family is so culturally mixed from where I live, and like my stepdad, for all intents and purposes, who is my dad, has been my mum for 25 years. He's your proper old English pub, Yorkshires, cup of tea, crumpets, geezer. So then I've got that side of me. Then I've got my mum who's American, who still says candy, trash, or like uses those words. And then I've got my other dad in America, who I don't speak to as much anymore. But then just my family's just mixed mashed, and then they're Nigerian as well. So there's that, and it's just all over. So I'm a mixing pot of a lot of things. So that's probably why I've never just settled into one kind of accent or way of speaking.
Genuinely never knew that. Have you ever mentioned that before in an interview?
Not that in depth. So no, there you go, exclusive.
I love exclusives. The other thing I want to speak to you, and I asked Fraser Clarke the same question. I don't know if you've seen the interview I did with him the other day. A lot of people talked about the after effects of the fight you guys had the first time around, and people are talking about the impact it has on your body. And there's all these opinions out there. People saying, "No, it's not good for him." Fraser answered it honestly, so I'll see if you can do the same. You tell me the next day, the 48 hours later, 70 odd hours later, how did your body feel compared to previous fights?
For 3 days, I was eating nothing but super noodles. I couldn't chew. My mouth hurt. But, like, I don't regret it at all. Like, I love it. It's great. Like, I've got I've got pictures on my phone of, like, I did like a week's worth of like a day by day picture of my face like slowly puffing down, because obviously I had my nose stitched, I had like a puffy eye, I had like a puffy chin, I think, from in my jaw. Just the muscles of my jaw just hurt so much I couldn't clench my mouth, so I was literally just like supping like super noodles for like 3 days afterwards. Aches and pains, your arms hurt, your ribs hurt, your shoulders hurt, all sorts. But it's the love of the game, man. Like I just love it. Like, because it's a weird thing as well to like do it and go through all of that, and then just knowing that eventually in a week or so you'll be alright, and then you're back in the gym and you're like, okay, I'm right now. Like, we're never back to it.
You piss blood?
I did on the day and maybe the day after as well. I definitely didn't on the day or on the night, because I remember doing my VADA test, my drugs test, but maybe the next day as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, the reason I asked you both that question is because I want fans to kind of appreciate the shit you guys put your bodies through. That's why you deserve the most amount of money you guys can get, and the fact that you're doing it straight again, back to back, you both deserve mad respect for that.
Yeah, look. We have me. I can't help it. I'm a joker. I like to take the piss. I like to have a little poke at someone. For me, it's all in good fun. For me, it's a laugh. For me, it's a bit of banter. And I will have a poke and a prod at Fraser and everything else. And all my opponents, to be honest, don't like. There's nothing to say personally. The game's the game. But he's a warrior to get through those 12. I'm a warrior to get through those 12, and we've both got a big old set on us to do it straight away again.
Set of what?
I was gonna say set of balls, but then I was wondering, like,
Don't filter.
I was thinking, should I swear? Do you know what it is? 'Cause I've done so many times. I'm like Sky, where they're like, don't swear, and I'm like TNT, and they're like, don't swear, and then I'm on IFL, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, and you just get mixed up. So sometimes you just PG just to be a bit safer. But big old set of nuts.
There you go. Big set of nuts. You can say what you want on Boxing King Media. The other thing I want to ask you, a couple of more questions. I asked Fraser, obviously people are seen as warriors stepping into the ring, leathering each other, but away from that, everyone has phobias and fears. He told me his biggest phobia and fear. What's yours?
My biggest phobia and fear is really almost borderline egotistical, but then I guess it helps. It's a driving factor as well. Is being forgotten, and it comes from a place of I feel like the world is so vast and the world is so big and there's so much going on. Is that to have just made some sort of impact on the world, to be remembered for something, that it's not just you lived for a bit, you mosey through life, you died. That was it. Brush you off. You're forgotten about a few years later. It sounds so egotistical. It really does. But I just want to be remembered. I want to die, and in 10, 15 years, people go, "Do you remember in like Fabio? Do you remember that FRAZER Clarke Fabio Wardley fight? That was mad, wasn't it?" Or it being on like the Sky like replay in like 20 years time and things like that, or just little kids in 2015, maybe not 15, 20 years, hoping to be alive a lot longer, but after I pass or whatever, looking back and watching old videos of me and going, God, I want to fight like Fabio Wardley did, or God, Fabio Wardley got me into boxing. And that's the kind of thing that is my biggest fear, or I say was, because I've probably conquered it a bit with my career. I've made quite a statement in life, enough to be remembered for a number of things. That doesn't mean I'm done, doesn't mean I think it's finished at all. I think there's a lot more for me to accomplish. But for me, that was always my biggest thing, was being forgotten.
So not rats or spiders or snakes, nothing like that.
I'm not scared of spiders. I'm not scared of rats. I don't mind heights. I don't mind flying.
Fraser said he's not a big fan of rats. So bring a rat with you. Bring a rat with you.
Here we go.
First Frank, now
the
Eddie.
man himself.
All smooth
How you doing?
You right?
I think
They asked me for my prediction.
What was it?
Make the best man win.
No.
I said,
Shall I put you on the spot?
What was it?
I said, I make Fabio the favourite. I said, Fraser needs to be fitter. I said, you got to hope that don't open up.
Yeah, he
early on.
said, he did say,
because that happens.
He did that.
I said, he needs to try and put a dent in you early, but you're a very sharp starter and a very good counter puncher, so that won't really
Good
work.
assessment.
But I think it's a great fight.
Good assessment.
But I did. You were my pick. I couldn't go
They
against.
changed from last time,
I
man.
couldn't go against. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was more hurt then.
Oh yeah, you was a bit upset. And
Now you've given me time.
I did a nice interview about you, and then you changed your mind. You changed your mind.
To be fair,
Yeah.
he was the first one to pick it. To be fair,
Nah. To be fair, Ed's alright. He's a good boy. He is a good boy. For all intents and purposes, he is a good boy. I know. And this is the thing. We obviously were saying off camera as well. Like, I've always maintained good relationships with everyone. Like, I understand this game of boxing. It can be a bit spiteful and a bit nasty and a bit backstabby, but I've done my best to try and maintain level relationships all the way through, because unless someone's done me harshly, then cool, you can get fucked. But realistically, no one's done me too harshly. I've always been relatively well looked after, so I feel like returning the same favour. Respect is given.
I was going to say to you just before Eddie came, if you bring a rat to the ring with you, it might make the fight easier for you.
Oh, is that his rats? He doesn't like rats. So he wouldn't be good on I'm a Celeb or anything like that then. No, not for him. No, I don't. Really thinking. I don't have any phobias.
BIVOL said snakes and spiders. BETERBIEV said flying.
No, I don't mind any of it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, a tarantula starts crawling along the floor, I'm gonna be like, fucking hell. But I'm not gonna run and scream. I don't mind it. I wouldn't call it a phobia.
It's all right.
No, don't have any. Don't have any. I'll come back to you.
Big Fabios.
Every time we do this, keep asking me. See if I come up with one.
Last question for you. It kind of touches on what you said earlier, where you said about how you want to be remembered and stuff like that. Do you, because you might have semi-answered the question earlier, but I asked a lot of the people of the last couple of days, do you ever question your own existence and your purpose in life as a young fighter coming up? Obviously, you're not daft either. You're quite clued up about the world. Do you ever wonder why we're here?
Yeah, but I try and... That's a two-part thing. That I think they're two separate questions. What you said... Do I question my own existence?
Why are we here?
But you said my purpose. So one part I leave alone. The second part I'm cool with. I feel like I found my purpose. It is boxing. It is to. There's a multitude. It's like multifaceted for me. Boxing as a whole. I love the sport. I love what I do. I love being a competitor. I love challenging myself. I love pushing myself. All of those things, but on the other side, I love what boxing brings me in terms of the exposure and the financial side, to then be able to look after not just myself but my family and my friends, and be an anchor for my family and friends, and be the one to look to and be able to help and be a strong person, strong character, not only mentally but physically, just to be reliable and for someone to lean on. That's what I think my purpose is, or what I've deemed at least my purpose is between those two things. In terms of why we're here, that's too much of a existential question for me to delve into. My brain will do circles. I'm not doing it. I'm waking up every day. I'm thankful and I'm moving forward.
That's it. I love that. Well, you're both great guys, and you're both BFGs, as I was saying to somebody earlier, big friendly giants, and I wish you all the best. I hope you guys make it out safe out the fight, and may the best.
Can I just know?
Go on.
I do a lot of interviews, and yours actually are genuinely. I know it may not seem like this as well because I not put it off, but I didn't have time for it initially. Yours are genuinely one of my favourites because they're not boring questions like how you feeling about the fight, are you ready, did you train hard, what's your tactics, what's your game plan. There's more to it, and I think that's credit to you, and I think that's credit to why your page is doing so well, is because I think the public wants to know more about us as people as well as boxers, but as people as well. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a little pat on the back.
Genuinely, that means a lot. Appreciate that, and that has been the secret to our success. Shake your hand again, Fab. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.